Hi, baby. I know, I hear you. Hi. It's okay. See, you're all calm now. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, I just need to find my chat. There it is. I need to go and open the back door again as well because Maddie wants to pee. Come on then. Come on then. I know. Hi. Here's a Maddie. Here's a Maddie. She's still a little bit stressed out, but she's okay. She's okay, aren't you, Bubs? Come on. Let's go pee. Good girl. Come on. Let's open the door. It's okay. Come on. Let's go pee. Good girl. You're so brave. Oh, you're so brave and clever. Come on. Come on. Good girl. There we go. Good girl. Okay, go pee, look. Yeah, such a clever girl. Such a clever girl. Whew. No, we had a sudden massive thunderstorm hit. It didn't last very long and it's cleared my vertigo, although now I've got earache, so swings and roundabouts, right? But it takes her about half an hour to calm down. So it didn't last very long. It literally came over. I mean, it's so windy. It's not really surprising that it didn't last long, but yeah, she was wrapped around my head. Oh. Tension. Ugh, I hate air pressure. Right, sweet pea. It's okay. Get big belly rubs for Maddie. Big belly rubs for Maddie. You can sit on Mommy's chair if you want to. Do you want to sit on Mommy's chair? Sit on Mommy's chair. You're a good girl. It's okay. She's still a little bit overheated, but she's calmed down now. Yeah, well, I don't know how this will affect the previous one, so I'm going to quickly rerun what I said last time because I don't know if it will record over the top. So, foggy brain. Everybody's got foggy brain. We established that earlier. It's the energy shift. It's a doozy. Wow, it really is. It's a very, very strong energy shift. I don't normally feel them very much. I kind of notice them in passing and go, oh, look, there's an energy shift. That's interesting. But for this one, it's been like, let's just go lie down. I'm so tired. And then this morning, I feel like, yeah, I've got a headache, but I think that's the air pressure. That's actually the barometric thing, but I also feel really tired. Like literally, I could lie down and go to sleep right now, and I'm halfway through my second coffee. I overslept 2 days in a row, which I don't normally do. You know, it's just the way the energy is at the moment. So, might have an early night tonight and see if that helps. Okay, so while we were offline, because I can actually unplug my laptop and work without being plugged in, I scanned this page for you guys. So I've put the download up for you in the same post. So you've got this page now and you've got this page. So you've got both the reading and this. And obviously you can go through the reading with the video. 51 minutes in at the tarot link that I've put in the extra video. So those of you who are in Midsummer Chronicles, you don't need to rewatch it if you don't want to. It's the one we did the other day. The first half of the video won't make any sense to you if you're not in Midsummer Chronicles. So skip to 51 minutes in. And then this is the paperwork that goes with. This is the write-up that I do after I've done the reading. So let's get on with, what time is it now? It's 5:30. So in order for us to have our 2 hours, we need to go to about 7:30. I'm just saying that out loud so I remember when I come to do it later. Liz won't last that long. She's yawning already. So, a couple of things we need to do. I've left my phone over there again. Couple of things we need to do, which will be made quicker by the fact that we don't. Yeah, Schminker's there. She's so cute. Couple of things is we need to go over the video list because I got out of order. So we need to just double check what we're going to do this month. And I'm going to go through this because there's a lot in here of Virgo and Leo. So if any of you are Virgo and Leo oriented, it's going to affect you. And there's also, well, there's also a lot of Sun in Leo aspects, which affects everybody because we've all got a sun sign, right? As soon as she hears me, she comes running. Oh, Schminker, you're so cute. Hi. Oh, look, she's looking for me. Oh, sweetie. You're so adorable. Look at those big ears. Oh. Anyway. Cody's suffering with the heat there as it got warmer, Cody. I bought myself a little USB fan. It only cost me £8 on Amazon, and you plug it into any USB. So your computer, your laptop, your phone charger, exactly the same as normal. And it's fabulous because it doesn't blow you out of the window like a big office fan does, but it just moves the air around enough that you don't have to sit there fanning yourself while you're trying to do something else. It's great. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Okay, let's do a quick overview of what we were going to do for, well, I actually haven't written it all down anyway. So, okay, that's good. I think I kind of did it in the calendar, but I haven't really done it properly. Nope. Hopefully you can't hear the background noise, but upstairs has got his TV on while he cooks. So there's a lot of banging and clattering and canned American laughter, but hopefully you can't hear it from on my lovely new microphone. I love my new microphone. It's awesome. Anyway. Okay, so we've got, let's have a look at the dates. 1st, 3rd, 6th, 8th, 10th. For those who are new, we have a study guide. Lots of new patrons this month. Hi, guys. Awesomeness. For those who are new, we do a study guide on a Tuesday or Wednesday, which is a PDF that gives you information to go and do your own research, find out what you want to do, etc., etc. That's available to the $5 tier. The Thursday chat is available to the $10 tier, where we do a more in-depth chat or art or something connected to the study guide. And then the Saturday is always some kind of art or craft or creative project or something, and that's the $15 tier. If you're in the group on Ning and you've paid through Ning, you're at the $15 tier. So you're getting everything. Okay, so today we're doing the Lammas August Astro coffee chat type thing. The reason for that is because I want to do the Lammas Stitch and Witch on Saturday. So Saturday the 3rd is not going to be the coffee chat. It's going to be the Stitch and Witch. So I need to cross that out. There we go. That's because this is going to be something different. I need my white out. I can't do this without my white out. Hang on. Okay, so we're not doing Lammas Stitch and Witch next week. We're doing it this week. That's the coffee chat, so I can get rid of that. Actually, I can get rid of that. Okay, so Lammas Stitch and Witch will be on Saturday, the 3rd. For those who are unfamiliar with the Stitch and Witch project, this is what we've been working on. If you want to catch up, you can. If you don't want to catch up, that's okay. If you want to just start with Lammas or have a go at it or whatever, that's okay too. Do what you like. People are doing different projects and in different ways. Some people are doing this along with me. Some people are doing it as art pieces. Jane is doing it very quickly headed west, so I don't think you're going to get it, guys, because you're south. It came east to west. It went vroom across that way. I don't think you're gonna get it. Yeah, my mum doesn't like them either. My theory on that is that it reminds her of when she was a baby and there were air raids because she was born at the end of the war. That's my theory, but she doesn't believe it. Anyway, people are doing different things for this. So entirely up to you what you do. But this is a beginner's thing. We started off doing very simple stitches. Every month we decide what we're going to draw. We design it, we put it together, we do our colours. I've got a bit missing there because that's going to be white, and I don't want to put the white on until I finish doing the rest because the white will get grubby. So I want to wash it and then do the white first, white afterwards when it's clean, and we'll stay that way. Then we did a little bit with, you know, patching on fabric, little sticky stars, which are stuck with fabric glue so they won't come off. A button moon. Button moon, button moon. Yeah, only the English girls are going to get that one, but never mind. Beltane flowers. I still haven't written my Beltane up there. I forgot I hadn't done that. I've been working on this one. This one's taking me a little while because my eyesight isn't what it used to be and I need new glasses. So I'm struggling a little bit with the satin stitch, but I'm getting there. It's coming along. The next one is Lammas, obviously, and I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do a sheaf of corn because Lammas is the beginning of the harvest. Lammas is the pre-harvest festival. So the harvest begins in August, obviously depending on how much it rains and et cetera, and where you live. But a baked bean tin, yeah. Oh God, I love Button Moon. It was awesome. I liked the Hoover. Anyway, oh, somebody's mic's on. Whoever's typing has their mic on. Yeah, this was Beltane flowers. So this was some more new stitches like French knots and using these kind of stitches to do fancy stuff. This is all basics. It looks complicated, but it's really not. No need to apologize, Katie. I know you knew, but it's fine. The reason I let people know that there's a mic on is because it sounds like you're dragging dead bodies around. You're perfectly fine to have your mic on if you're going to talk or show us something or whatever, but if you're just typing, it sounds horrendous. And it picks up on my mic. And then we went all out and did some satin stitch on this one, which has been a bit of a doozy. And then for the corn, obviously, I'm going to be doing something else. I thought I might put a ribbon on it. So I might put sheafs of corn and obviously the leaves and the wheat ears, that's the word I'm looking for. And then attach a ribbon to it. So show you how to add extra bits. Rather than just tying a ribbon like this, this is just a piece of embroidery thread, actually put some ribbon on it. I thought that would be cute. So that's what we'll be doing Saturday. I am just going to draw a sheaf of corn, so I'm not worried about doing the extra. We normally do a design session, but I'm literally going to do something along these lines. Super simple. It's not going to be anything incredibly, and this will probably be, this is ideal for something like chain stitch, which we did previously. But the big thing will be putting this piece of ribbon through and actually tying it in a bow and that kind of stuff. So corn is a stalk, wheat is a sheaf. Don't get all Farmer Giles with me, Amber. Hey, it's enough. Corn is a stalk.
The kids had a heart transplant.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
For the rest of these
Marika, your mic's on, hon. No, what you're calling corn is not what we call corn. What you're calling corn is sweet corn, which is not the same as corn here. I know this. Because what we call corn here is anything that's arable land. Anything that looks vaguely like this, we call corn. Where you're talking about the really big stalks of proper sweet corn, aren't you? Cereals, right. Yes, there you go. So what we call corn is your cereals. But you are right. This would be a sheaf. You're correct there. I'll give you that one. It's always interesting finding what different people call stuff. I always find that fascinating. Anyway, back to the at hand. Foggy brain has lifted slightly and become squirrel brain, and I'm not concentrating on stuff. Where's my...
Whoa, look how big my kitten's gotten.
Oh my God! She had a growth spurt.
She did.
Whoa! She's huge. Hi, kitty. This is the foster fail, is it?
Yes, this is her.
What's her name? What did you land on it? Sorry?
We've decided on Binky.
Binky. Binky, hi.
She has no time to hold still.
No, she's full of beans. Hi.
But I just think it's so amazing how much bigger she is.
She has really like tripled in size since the last time we saw her. Fantastic. She's looking awesome. Hi, and she's very chatty. Hello.
Yes, yes, she has something to say about everything.
That's what Crow was like. If she didn't have something to say, she'd just shout at you. Oh, she's gorgeous. Thank you. We love seeing the kitties. Right. We do stop for kitties. You get used to that. We stop for puppies as well. You'll get used to that too. Right, where are we up to? Okay. Next week. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. What I realized is we missed Astrology House, the Astrology House in July. Did we do June's? Did we do House 6? Or did we stop at House 5 and somehow we didn't pick it up again? I don't remember doing a house last month. So I think we've got 6 and 7 and 8 to do. Sometimes stop for a leopard gecko. Yes, absolutely. Any pets, actually. It doesn't really matter what they are. We love the animals. We did house 6. Okay. I don't remember doing house 6. I've got a complete blank on that. I know we didn't do house 7. So somewhere along the line, we need to fit in 2. Now, let me see what I've got there on the 10th. I've actually got an Urban Sketches class and a sign language class that morning. So I'm wondering if that might be a good day to do. Whoa, that house looks 3D. How weird. Sorry, I don't know if that picks up on camera, but that little house I have for my note there actually looks 3D to me. It's weird. It might just be my glasses. I don't know. You can't find any house 6 notes. No, I don't think we did house 6 because June was a really short month, wasn't it? I don't think we've done house 6 or house 7, which is really weird because I don't remember missing them out, but we haven't done them. So this month we need to fit in 2. So what I thought we'd do is next week, the 6th, we'll do the study guide. We'll kind of double up on the study guide for the houses. So we'll do house 6 and 7 study guides. That way you've got them for the whole week. And then on the 8th, we'll do house 6. And on the 10th, we'll do house 7 instead of an art session. This will work out, don't worry. So that week, you'll have 2 astrologies. So the $10 tier, you'll get the Saturday one as well. The following week, you won't get a video. So you'll get 2 videos one week and no videos the next, because the next week we'll do 2 art videos. Although we could do the myths video, so that might work. Okay, what else do we need to do? 13, 20, 27. We actually don't have to do anything. So on the 13th of August, let's do our myths for August, which means the 15th we can do art for myths, or myths chat or something like that. And then on the 17th we can do people. Everybody wanted to do drawing people this month, so that's one of the ones we're going to do. Have I got the dates right there? 13th, 15th, 17th, yeah. 20th of the 8th, 22nd, 24th, and then we've got 27th, 29th. And I'm going to include the 1st of September in it. The 1st of September is when we would normally do a coffee chat. We won't be able to do that. So I will set up a group room and you can have a group free for all. You can just all come along and do whatever you want to do. And, you know, Cody usually comes along and shows everybody her crystals for an hour and a half. She's quite good at that. So you can do whatever you want. You know, you can share stuff that you wouldn't necessarily share if I was in the group and that kind of thing. The 29th, the 27th will be your September astrology, etc. study guide. And the Thursday, there will be no live class. So there will be no live class on the 29th or the 1st. But again, if you guys want to hang out, I will set up a room and you guys can just hang out if you want to. That's my week off. I haven't had a week off since Christmas, so I'm having a week off. And it's actually going to be a proper week off. Like actual week off, not just where I say I'm having a week off and what I really mean is I'm not doing any live stuff. I'm actually having a full staycation week. The 31st, not the 1st. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. 31st of the 8th. I thought it went. Oh, because I'm off till the 1st of September. That's why I was confused. All of these posts will be on your Ning site. Ning and Patreon, yes. But this particular week, the 20th, I'm away from the 25th through to the 1st, inclusive. Sunday to Sunday, because I don't work Sundays either. I have been working Sundays for the last 2 months, which is another reason for having a complete week off from anything. I won't be doing YouTube, Twitch, nothing. Go away. But there will be a pre-recorded video on the Thursday for the September astrology and reading and all the tarot reading and all that. I will do that and I will set it up ready to go. So the 20th to the 24th, we have a free week for a study guide. We did altars last month. What are we doing on the 15th again? Art, the myths. So we'll be doing 13th, we'll be doing August myths, which I don't know what they'll be yet, but we'll come up with something. And then we'll do art for myths, but we'll probably do something to do with people because that's what you all wanted to do this month. So last month we did Mercury, and it happened to be a people drawing, a drawing of a statue. So we weren't trying to get a likeness. Maybe this month we might do Virgo. Although we've done Virgo art before, haven't we? So I'll think of something. August is always the most creative month because it's Leo. So we've done Virgo, we've done Leo, we've done all sorts of stuff. We always do it every year. So can you do a PDF so I can jot down the dates? It'll go into the calendar as normal, Jane. Everything will be in the calendar. I update the calendar as soon as I've sorted this out. That's why I do it. And I will make sure that I put in which ones will not be Zoom live meetings. So you know which ones are live to turn up to and which ones are just pre-recorded. Yeah, last month we did altars. So as part of altars, you looked at tools and things. Would you be interested in looking at tools and their significance and stuff like that, even though most of you are not Wiccan, you're just witch or just here for interest? Or are you quite happy you've covered tools in the altars section and you want to do something else? I don't really know an awful lot about altars and tools, so I'm hesitant to do it as a taught session. Because I don't have an athame. Okay, I have a kitchen knife. So I mean I can tell you about the Amber, you missed the entire 2 months we did on herbs, so you can go jump. We spent 2 months drawing herbs, and where were you? In hospital. So yeah, you have to go back and watch all those videos and you can go back and do all those herbs. You're interested in tools and basic witchy stuff because you're new at it and still confused. Yeah. I mean, the basic thing is that unless you're a Wiccan, you don't really need tools. But there are certain things that I would consider essentials that are useful to have because pretty much everything calls for it. Urban legends. Witchy urban legends. You're waiting for the podcast, Jane. Patience. I'm working on the podcast in September. I'm hoping to launch Halloween. Hopefully. Right. Okay. All right, let's do on the 20th a study guide. Since we've just done altars, that gives the people who are new time to look at the study guide for altars and just have a quick look through at what that's about. Let's this time do tools, but rather than doing tools individually, because there's no point learning what an athame is if you're never going to use one. And if you desperately want to use one, you probably already know what it is. You can research Catholic tools. Yeah. Well, we already covered the rosary, so you're well on your way. Yeah, let's do tools as an overview. I'll give you the, if you have an altar and you want to set it up with tools version for the study guide, for those of you who want to go and look it up and understand where it's all coming from, and those of you who are new and want to find out about it. And then on the chat day, we'll do tools, more what I would consider essential tools, just as a practitioner rather than a religious witch. Because like I say, an athame is a knife that is used in ritual and stuff on an altar. So it's not really a proper knife. It's ceremonial. In 1 week, Jane. Patience. Simple potions and spells is something we're doing as kind of an ongoing thing anyway. So I'll see if I can work a simple spell into the tools section. That way you can see the practical side of it. How does that work? Because there's various basic spells like herb protection and stuff like that that you can do. They really don't require any amazing tools. I mean, if I need an athame, I go to the kitchen and pull out the kitchen knife, you know. If I need a spoon, if it's for dry goods, I usually use a measuring spoon of some sort. I've got a little one that's no use to man nor beast, so I use that most of the time, or just an ordinary teaspoon. I have a metal dish that I burn things in. It's not actually a cauldron, but it's a metal dish. It's for burning incense and stuff, you know. I think the most important thing is to have a good tool that is relevant to what you do. So if you're a kitchen witch, your ultimate tool is going to be a mortar and pestle. And those can be expensive, so save up for one. And save up for one that is special in some way that you could only use. Even if you normally use a mortar and pestle, it's worth having one that you only use for spellcraft. And preferably not a wooden one, because most people who use a mortar and pestle in the kitchen will have a wooden set. But wood absorbs energy. And it's hard to clean it. It's hard to cleanse it. Whereas mine's marble, actually. I can't see it. I don't know where I've put it. It's probably over there somewhere in the cupboard. I've obviously put it away somewhere. But mine's a small marble one. It's only the size of a teacup. And I use that for spells, herbs, rather than the normal one I have in the kitchen. Oh, if yours is stone, that's easy to clean. That's not a problem. Are you off? Oh no. Kindergarten evaluation. Aren't you a bit old for that, Katie? I mean, I know it's in a child week, but yeah, we'll probably be on till about 7:30. You don't use it often in the kitchen. Ah, well, you can make use of it now if you get into herbs. Yeah, I'll try and work a simple spell into the tools category, because I class things like my little dish that I burn incense on. That is a tool for me. Whereas for a Wiccan, the actual incense is the tool. The incense for me is something I craft from my herbs. So yeah, let's do that. And then on the Saturday, we've got another art session, and it's up to you guys. Do you want to do another people session? A lot of you wanted to do that one from here. You wanted to do the sessions from here, didn't you? I've kind of tapped out on doing other people's art. But I think maybe something like this could be a good one for getting a bit of a likeness, or maybe do the heads first and then try the bodies. It's up to you. What do you think? I do like the idea of doing my own version of this, which is where you set up the heads in advance and then you dress them. So they could be anybody or they could be real people. I like the idea of doing that, but I would do it my own way. Hi! Ollie? Is that Ollie? Or is it the other one? Oscar. I was close. I got the O right.
Hi.
Yeah, this might be a fun exercise just for doing, like, inventing people, but also for drawing people we know. Like, you could draw your family and friends. But I'll do it my way instead of following her tutorial, because I'm a bit tapped out on doing other people's tutorials. And if you've got the book, you can do the tutorial from the book. And then maybe the second session, if we do drawing people this way, like full bodies, and what's the 17? 17. I'm not seeing 17 anywhere. What's 17? What's the 17? Give me a clue. Oh, the 17th of August, do you mean? Yeah, that's the first art people. That'll be the heads. Sorry, yeah. Art people heads. So I'll do Emma's tutorial, but I'll do it my way. And if you want to do it from the book, you can. So we'll do, I mean, this could be really fun. This could be way more fun than it is. Just picking different, I mean, this is useful for learning to do the different colours. But think of all the things you could do. You could do all the Greek gods, or, you know, you could do all the people for the star signs, or a series of different witches, or whatever. I mean, you could do characters from movies. You could do all the Harry Potter characters if you want to, or something like that. This has endless possibilities, this one, for both trying to get likenesses and just, you know, sitting in a coffee shop with a page full of these and just drawing people that you see. So I think this one could be really fun. And then this one will be really useful for doing, I mean, obviously we've done the dogs and cats already, but this is useful for being able to tell the difference between heights of people. Because we've already done it the other way round, where we've got people in perspective, where all the eye lines match. This is the other way round, where you build people from the ground up. So you know that this is a child because he's half the size of him. Does that make sense? So that could be the second one we do. Yay or nay? Everybody's got the same brain fog today, haven't they? I can see you all sitting there going, oh, just tell us what we're doing. I don't care. Stop making me answer questions. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. So, okay, so 24th, the week of the 20th, study guide, tools, the Wiccan version, or the altar version. 22, tools, and I'll see if I can work in a spell. I'll try, but tools the Romany way. Things that I think you need according to what you practice. And then art on the 24th, we'll do full bodies, simple. So we've done something similar to this before. You're always worried about drawing people because it seems advanced. There's nothing advanced about drawing people. Not in this way. That's why I wanted to do it simple like this, because the way I draw people, I mean, yeah, when we draw people this way, this one we did of Mercury, even though we were drawing a statue, not a person, and we weren't really trying to get a likeness. I mean, you look at him and it's obvious he's a statue, you know, he stood there going, that's a statue. It doesn't look like a person, but it's still kind of people drawing. So if you're not comfortable with people drawing yet, try drawing statues, because you don't have to make them look lifelike. If you live in a quite a big town, don't you? Go around your town looking at the different statues, or even angels in the graveyard, or anything like that, you know. Look at statues online. Draw a statue of classical sculpture is a good one. Draw one of the thinker, you know, and David. Anything like that, trying to make it look like the statue. That's the first step to making it look like a person. And then this one will be more about trying to make it look like a person. So if you looked at this group of people, you'd go, oh, that's John and Jane and little Timmy. Because relative to each other, it looks right. It doesn't have to be a perfect likeness. Jane is the goddess of drawing animals. She's incredible at animals, but people, not so much. Whereas I'm kind of good at doing both, but structures and buildings, not so good. Not so good. I'm getting better at doing abstract stuff like plants and florals and things like that. Abstract seems to be my jam, or just black and white. Anything in between seems to be a bit beyond me. Okay, so that's August sorted then. I will put that on the calendar. If you're new, the reason I ask everybody on Patreon to join the Ning site as well is because you need to be able to access the calendar. But the study guides always go up on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and the Thursday class is always at 4 o'clock, unless I come on and something happens and we have to postpone. I usually change it in advance if I have to postpone it. And then Saturdays, if you're in the $15 group, you need to be on Patreon to get the live calendar. If you go for angels, don't blink. Yeah, don't blink. Don't blink. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey and all that. I've got earache and it's very distracting. Okay. Astrology. Did I tell you I'd put the... If I didn't tell you already, while I was offline, I managed to scan on the laptop the tarot cards for the reading. So I've put that up as well while we were offline. I don't know where it is in here now. I can't find it. This is also a download for today. So the new moon starting around now. The dark moon has just been happening. That was the brain fog. Hopefully at some point today or tomorrow we'll all start lifting again and the brain fog will go. It's literally a new phase of life. Everybody is shifting into a new phase. Some will be a major phase, some will be not so major phase, some will have their phase thrust upon them later in the year, but for everybody it's a major energy shift. So if you're thinking you want to start afresh somehow, now is the time to do it. Even if you start small. Like today, I'm literally going around with bin bags, just picking up anything that looks like rubbish and chucking it in the bin. Because my oracle this morning said, get rid of the clutter, get rid of the crap, throw the trash out. Okay then, point taken. That getting rid of the crap, emptying the bins, getting rid of my big bag of recycled paper and all that kind of stuff. You've felt the shift already. Wow. I haven't quite felt the shift yet. I can feel it coming, but it hasn't hit yet for me. But she's now ahead of me, so maybe I'll feel it in the next hour. You never know. You did Twitch today, which was your small step. Excellent. Yeah. It needs to be small steps. I mean, this is a new life phase. This is not like, oh, I've got a new project to do for August. Although if you have got a new project for August, today is the day to start. And I'm doing my studio cleanse, for which I am going to start a group and share the journey with you. It's going to be a free group for anybody who wants to join. So, and I will try and vlog bits, but I can't guarantee how much I'll be able to vlog or how regularly. It might turn out to be lots and lots of little short, like Instagram style videos. I don't want to turn it into a major project. My major project is getting my studio done. Sharing it with you guys will help me achieve that. You've got some gouache to play with. Excellent. Anything new that you've got to play with. If you've got new supplies to play with, anything like that, where you make that step towards making the change. Ooh, Cody's got a new bullet journal. Has Cody gone up into an A5?
You missed my Twitch, but I talked about it in my Twitch. I'm doing both.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I will check out your Twitch. Don't forget to put your link in the forum. Because you know that sounds familiar. Did we say that earlier?
Yes, we did.
Okay. See what I mean? This is what the bullet journal is for.
I plan on actually recording, like on YouTube.
Cody
thought process.
started Twitch and YouTube. That will remind me later that I need to go and get links and check it out myself. And I'm already following you, but I didn't get a notification.
It was during the thunderstorm.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that would
kept everybody entertained.
I turned everything off. I cannot in any way, shape or form afford to have my Mac that I run my livelihood by, or my router, although my router isn't mine, it belongs to the company, but it would still put me off schedule for a day or two. I cannot in any way, shape or form have my Mac affected by a thunderstorm where we have a sudden power surge or something like that. I just can't. No. So anytime it starts thundering or anything like that, I'm out. If I'd known it was going to thunder, I would have just put the whole chat back a couple of hours. You've got 30 Neocolor 2s and you're on holiday from the 9th. Oh, that's a goal. That is a goal. Now, Rachel has... Guys, stop. Oh, my ear. Ow. Rachel has a... You're scared of your Neocolor 2s? That's silly. Rachel has a big batch of boxes. Now, the big batch of boxes is not going to get sorted. And she can't start sorting the big batch of boxes because once she does, she'll have to finish it. It's a huge job and she's got other things to worry about right now that are way more important. However, I should add to that, because she's open about it. She doesn't mind me saying she has really bad OCD. Clinical, it involves bleach OCD. So she cannot get caught up in anything that's going to trigger that. Somehow between us, we've got to come up with some way of her being able to find all her art stuff that is stuck in a box. She has a pile of boxes. She doesn't know which box they're in. And it is apparently not as simple as my last suggestion of just pull out all the boxes, open the top, look at what's inside and write it on the top of the box. That was my suggestion. So she wasn't actually sorting anything. But she didn't get that far. So everybody needs to put their heads together and come up with some way that Rachel can get around this issue and find her art supplies without disturbing or triggering her OCD, because she's got enough to deal with as it is at the moment. So if you have any ideas, share them. Share them in the group, on the forum. Share them under this video in When Frogs Sing, because Rachel does check the forum now. She's figured out how to do that. Having somebody else find them could have been an option, but I don't think it's an option anymore. Her mum is not in a position to be able to do that. The simplest solution, actually, having said that, would actually be for me to go down there and spend half an hour opening boxes, writing on what's in, re-stickering them all back up again, because she trusts me. She's okay with me being in the flat. She's okay with me looking at stuff. And I would find it in not very long time, and then it wouldn't be a problem for her. But I'm the only person who's free to be able to do that, and I don't think I can. She's way too far away for me to be able to do it. Oh, opening one box and taking out one thing every hour or so is just, no, that wouldn't work for her. That would be prolonging the agony. That would just make the agony last for years and years and years. That wouldn't work. Good suggestion for other people, but not for Rachel. So, yeah, if anybody has any ideas on how we can do that and how we can get her through that, because she really needs to get her art stuff. I mean, the irony is that if I went down there and helped her get her art stuff, I would just take a huge box and go down there and say, here you go, here's all the art stuff that I don't want. Boom. It should be fine. Okay, so let's look at the astrology bits that we've got for the month. So today we've got all this hanging on from the dark moon thing. New moon starts. Scooby! Oh, guys, leave it. Everybody who hasn't been out to walk their dog today has see you, Liz. Everybody who hasn't walked their dog today because of the rain is apparently out walking their dogs, which is why these two have started being naughty. Shush, Mummy's working. They don't need to hear your suggestions. We don't care. Scooby's suggestion for everything is burn it, burn all of it. He's very Lestat. Burn it, burn everything we own. I know, your suggestion is let's set a match to it all. I know, leave it alone. Okay, back to tomorrow. We have Venus in Leo. For those who are new to the class and don't know what all these symbols and stuff mean, I did do a PDF way back. If you are in the $25 Patreon, you can have a copy of it. It's a way back when I did a series of symbols, but you can also go on Pinterest and just look up, you know, astrological symbols and stick it in your book until you learn what they are. It's not hard. There's 12 signs, and there's about 7 extra astrological things like ascendant, descendant, Lilith, and then there's the 12 planetary rulers. Well, you don't need to see my book because you should have a printout, but I'll share it anyway if you want to. It's easier for me not to share my screen so that other people can go on, but it's fine. So 2nd of August, Venus in Leo squaring Uranus in Taurus. Now, Uranus in Taurus is going retrograde on the 12th. Uranus is a slow-moving planet because it's an outer planet. So it's when we say inner and outer, inner planets means between the sun and the earth, and outer planets means outside of the earth's orbit. So outer planets, Saturn onwards, Uranus is one of them. It's way out there. It's taking a while to go around the sun. So if it's going retrograde, apparent backwards motion on the 12th, that means at the moment it's stationed. And it will have been for a few weeks because it's slow moving. So before it goes forward, it has to stop and go backwards. So it's stationed in Taurus, which I haven't written in. So Venus, planet of Venus, planet of, what does it rule? Love. Thank you, Risha. What does Venus rule? What sign? Libra and Taurus. Correct. Someone's been doing their homework. So Libra, air energy, Taurus, earth energy, in a fire sign. So we've got airy fire to do with love and earthy fire to do with love. Earthy fire, you think of smouldering, keeping things on a back burner, simmering on the stove, that kind of stuff. Airy fire, I always think of fanning the flames, you know, getting things started, getting things going, keeping that fire getting that fire started. Lighting a fire under your own ass in some cases, which is what I need to do. That's going to be me tomorrow, lighting a fire under my own ass, because I love my studio and I need to get it sorted. I love my job. I love what I do. I don't love the situation that I'm currently living in, which is, it looks like Stig of the Dump. Okay. Squaring Uranus in Taurus stationed. So Uranus stationed is, Uranus is technology. Uranus is community. Uranus is teamwork. Practical in Taurus. Practical teamwork. But it's stationary. It's not going to be of any help. Guess what? It's a square. That means lighting a fire under your own ass, squaring off against teamwork. Practical teamwork. Guess what? Nobody else can do this job but me. Nobody else can sort out my studio but me. Nobody else can make me do it but me. How can I reconcile these two? Well, I'm already doing it. I've decided I'm going to use my community online in a practical way by setting up a group and sharing it with you. That makes me accountable to doing things. That means that my lazy ass or Aquarius that would rather just lie about and think of how I would like my studio to look will have to actually get up off its butt and do something. Literally lighting a fire under your own butt. So that's how it relates to me. Now, if you have Venus, a strong Venus, my Venus is in Pisces. Mine is spiritually bent, and a strong Leo. I actually have, Leo is my 5th house, my creativity house, which is always hard work because that's where my Saturn sits. So I'm going to have to work at my creativity and witchy stuff. And that's going to square off against the practical community stuff that I like to do. I am going to fight tomorrow to try and make sure that I don't spend my entire day reorganizing my computer system, because that's part of my job too, when what I really need to do is get some practical shit going and reorganize my desk first of all. I can do reorganize my system anytime I want. You know, I can sit and do that while I'm watching a film. I can sit and organize my files. I can do that anytime. And I love doing it. And I'll do it anytime because it's what I enjoy doing. Virtually tidying up is my kind of thing. Actually tidying up, not so much. So light a fire under your own butt. Let's get on with it. I have a week to do that. Because on the 7th, I have a major shift, a major thing for me. Now, I discussed this in the YouTube video yesterday. Once I'm able to start sorting stuff tomorrow, I'll be okay, as I'll carry on going through boxes one room at a time. You're good at sorting stuff out in your head. Yeah. I think, Rachel, you need to think about, have you got some idea of where that box with your stuff in it is? Or do you know if it's a really heavy box that would be on the bottom somewhere? So you can like narrow it down to it's one of these three. Is that something you could do maybe? You've added your suggestion for box sorting and your links in the forum under the video. Awesome. Yes, anybody who's got a suggestion, because once chat stops, chat will disappear, you see. Although I have found out I can save the chat records. So if you think it'd be useful to save the chat records, I'll start doing that. So you've got the chat along with the video if you feel that would be useful. Oh, it's all the large heavy boxes that are left. Yeah, I had a feeling you'd say that. That's a shame, because that could have narrowed it down. If you could have at least picked it up and gone, no, that's not heavy enough to be art supplies. That might have narrowed it down a bit. So yeah, I talked about this one at length on YouTube because I used this as an example. But this is Sun in Leo, spotlight on creativity, self, performance, getting out there and doing things and being seen to be doing things, more importantly. The Sun in Leo is in rulership, so it's always exalted. You can think of it as the performer on the stage with the spotlight on them. It's your solo. It's your solo. Your time to shine. There's a trine, so that's a good aspect, and it's with Jupiter retrograde in Sag. Now, retrograde ends shortly, so that's also stationed. So instead of being specifically retrograde or specifically direct, Jupiter is just sitting. Jupiter doesn't just sit very often. He's always overextended, overworked, overstressed, overpartying. He's kind of acting like a normal human being for a change in Sag. So Wednesday will be a good time for goal setting for me, because I'm heavily influenced by, I'm going to write this in pencil actually, so that I can go back and, so goal setting, light a fire and use community practically. So today I've gone through and taken out the rubbish, the obvious rubbish. And then tomorrow, the best thing I can do is get setting up that group and get everybody into that group so we can start, you know, anybody who wants to join in can, and anybody who doesn't, that's fine too. You need to figure out what a square and a trine means. Go back into the archives for the, you want the grand aspects. A square is when two planets are 90 degrees to each other in the chart. So if the sun is there in Leo, Jupiter's there in Taurus, in Sag. So it's squaring. Now, two planets squaring each other, think of it like traffic. Something's got to give, right? You can't have two lines of traffic coming like this. Somebody's got to give. Or at the very least, somebody's got to slow down and change direction. Same thing, okay? So when these two are squaring, it means that they are not being helpful to each other. The practical community teamwork aspect is not being helpful, not much, Steph, is not being helpful to this nurturing what you love, getting going, lighting a fire under your own ass aspect. So the best thing I can do for that is to set up my community and then use that to light a fire under my own ass. Right? If I try to just light a fire under my own ass, my community aspects are going to get in the way. If I just set up the community, lighting a fire under my ass has to stop because this will happen. So what I need to do is just set up the group and let the group take care of itself. Let the group set up the group, put everybody in the group and say, here you go, here's the group. I cannot teach that as a class. I cannot be the one who takes over that section. I cannot be the only one contributing to that. It can't be led by me. It's got to be a community thing that we all join in with. So, I mean, I know Cody's been doing loads of stuff with her studio. I'm sure she'll be happy to do share her videos that she's already done. You know, Risha did a little tour of her studio the other day that I'm sure she'll be happy to repost. Everybody's got something that they can share and something they can chip in, even if it's only going in and when somebody says, oh, this isn't working, what do I do? Somebody will have an idea. Why don't you do this? Why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? One of them will sound like, oh, that might be something I could try. Squaring is not the same as an opposition. I've done grand aspects before and I don't really want to cover them today, but an opposition is opposite. 180 degrees. It's a balance. It's being pulled in two directions. Squaring is when two things are coming up against each other and one of them has got to give. And you have to use one to facilitate the other. A trine is more like, oh, so opposition is like traffic in two directions. Okay, you have to figure out how to go two directions at the same time. A square is working out what's got to give to facilitate the other one. You can only do one or the other. A trine is like a merger. They're helping each other. You can do both and it will work swimmingly. It won't be a problem. So goal setting in a creative spotlight kind of way, which I normally do as a video. It happens to be a Wednesday. So if I do a YouTube video that focuses on goal setting, that will go swimmingly. That should be something that is easy to do that day. Like I say, it's not about running your life by this. It's just by knowing what would be the best option to do that day. The 11th, we've got that Jupiter goes direct in Sag. So we're back to the usual craziness. And Mercury moves into Leo. Mercury in Leo is all about self-expression, communication, not two-way communication though, one-way communication, expressing yourself. If you've struggled with creativity lately and expressing yourself creatively, now is the time to have another go at it on the 11th. Because with Mercury in Leo, self-expression you can't avoid. So if you want to try self-expression through art, that's the time to play. And the reason I say play is because that's what cats do. They play with their prey. They play at what they're doing. Time to start writing again. Yeah, even if it's only fun little exercises, time to start writing again. Then we've got Uranus retrograde in Taurus. That is when the sense of community and the sense of how valuable online stuff is to you and the practical or impractical, because it's in Taurus, nature of being remote from others. It's thinking about your place in the community rather than the community itself. What can you contribute rather than what you can get from it? That kind of stuff. So that actually will work well with using the sense of teamwork and community in this class, because it's a free class. You know, everybody will be able to chip in. Getting people to chip in, because so many people are introverts in this group, is very difficult. But hopefully we've got enough extroverts and people who are willing to share or have got used to sharing, who are willing to put stuff out there that the introverts can reply at least, even if they don't start their own threads. You know, it's working together to become comfortable. Those who have never posted before, jump in, have a go, make one post, you know, see what it feels like, reply to one post, see what that feels like, all within the safety of this one little group that's not a class. It's just a group of people who are all doing organizing type stuff. And that Uranus is retrograde until January the 1st. So all social media, online stuff, if you've been thinking, oh, I need to dial back my social media presence and concentrate on real life for a while, I need to reduce the number of hours I spend playing online games and get back to reality, I need to use my time doing my live shows and doing my Twitch streams more wisely and plan it better so that I can use my free time better. That one was directed at me. That's the time to look at it. So between now and the end of the year is a good way of learning how to do that. And that is something I'm going to be concentrating on. Then on the 14th, we've got the Sun conjunct Venus in Leo. So on the 14th, you've got a really good aspect of this Venus in Leo, things you love, things you're passionate about, self-love, self-care, being confident in yourself, lighting a fire under your own ass to get things that you love done. All of that conjunct the Sun spotlighting. So spotlighting all of that, all in Leo, which is all about me, myself, and I. What is it you really want to achieve? That's the day to put it under the spotlight, one way or another. What is it that you really want to achieve? So for me, since my project is organizing my studio properly, hopefully finally, what I'm looking at is the first 14 days or the first 13 days doing the cleanse, getting rid of stuff, reorganizing, getting rid of stuff I know I don't want. And then on the 14th, looking at right now, what is left and what do I really want from this? How can I use the stuff that I've got left in the best possible way? How can I inject creativity into my space and feel like it's a place where I can create and do witchy stuff and relax and do my stuff that I enjoy in the best way possible? And with that, you've then got immediately following the 15th is the new moon in Aquarius. I need to white out. I keep reading that as the Sun because I wrote it with the dot in by accident. So I need to just white that out. There we go. New moon, full moon in Aquarius, which is culmination of a project. So I essentially have 2 weeks to clear the crap out of my studio and think about what I really want so that I can get to grips with getting it sorted and getting it in a place where I really want it. Now, as with all things, my project has a theme to it. And I'm going to reuse the original theme from Whimsical Workspaces, which was cleanse, tone, moisturize, and relax. Notice that my relax fits in with my holiday week. The cleanse also fits in with these 2 weeks. So in theory, it's a week, but I could do it for 2 weeks. Then I could do tone and moisturize for 10 days, and then I can relax for a week. So my aim is to have my studio mostly sorted by the 25th, because then I can take my holiday in my nice, relaxing space. Oh, that sounds so good. Because I don't want to be sat on my staycation thinking, oh, I really just want to paint today, but I should tidy my desk. I should sort that out. I should do this. I should do that. I don't want any should do's in my holiday. Thank you very much. I want my staycation to feel like I'm not at home. And I don't have a long list of things to do. So if I split my thing here, so I treat this as the cleanse, which is the getting rid of crap and the hard work of moving furniture and stuff like that. And then up until the 25th, so the 15th to the 25th is the tone and moisturize, which is toning. I class as like organizing, putting stuff where it should be, all that kind of thing. And then the moisturize is the nice bits, you know, making it look pretty, placing your crystals on the windowsill or whatever it is you want to do, you know, all that type of stuff, the futsying. So the cleanse will last 2 weeks. The toning will last however long it needs. The moisturizing may only need a couple of hours or a day or 2 days or whatever. So I can allow that to shift. I could even do my moisturizing while I'm on holiday, you know, and as part of my holiday, just, you know, buy some new cushion covers or put some flowers in the window or stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I can do while I'm on holiday. It's not work. It's just making things look pretty. So that breaks up the month really nicely. Then immediately following that, we've got Mercury in Leo, self-expression, coming up against, again, that Uranus in Taurus, retrograde this time. So self-expression squaring off against practical community, teamwork, social media type stuff. Are you crippling your self-expression by trying to share too much online? Or are you in danger of doing that? Contrary-wise, because squares are always contrary, is sharing stuff online with your community spurring you on to greater creative expression? Is that part of your creative expression? Something's got to give. So you've got to figure out, do you use your are you using your creative expression to fuel your sense of community at the detriment of your self-expression? Because we all know people who've got Instagram-worthy Instagrams, pictures, and they care a little bit too much about what it looks like. And it's all about, it's not for the sake of sharing, it's for, you know, all of their shots have to be perfectly set up and photographed and everything else. I'm not one of those people, you may have noticed. Or are you one of those people who could do with taking stock of how you share online and looking at how that does or doesn't fuel your creativity? Does it assist your self-expression? Is it part of your self-expression? Which for me it is. I very much teach the way of creativity is up to you. If you call it creative, it's creative. That doesn't necessarily mean it's art with a capital A. Stop putting things in boxes and just make shit, okay? And then share it online. It doesn't have to be perfect. That is very much my entire attitude to what I do. So for me, I think I've come to terms with those two. But it doesn't mean that I shouldn't just take a step back and go, okay, let's reevaluate. Let's see what we're doing, you know. Is it worth me having a separate bullet journal account still and stuff like that? Because I haven't really looked at that yet. Is it worth it? Do I need to do more to it or whatever? So that's a good kind of version of that. And then we've got, this is useful for the toning section actually, Mars, fiery energy, get stuff done, in Virgo, practical, earthy, getting to the details. If that's not perfect for a toning exercise, I don't know. You've got a lot of art to hang in your studio. Yeah. Time to get the hammer and nail out and start, you know, putting stuff in frames and getting on with it. Make your surroundings, you know, you could use that. You could do the same thing. Cleanse could be, you know, taking down what you've already got, cleaning frames, putting things away in storage if you don't want them out anymore or whatever, pulling out what you've got and deciding what you want to put up and what you don't. Your toning could be the practical stuff of working out where you're going to put stuff, filling in holes of stuff that you've taken nails out because you don't want to hang anything there anymore, all that kind of stuff. And then your moisturizing can be actually putting everything up and getting it looking nice. So it fits with pretty much anything. Mars in Virgo is doing the stuff that is male energy in a feminine way. So if you've got art to hang or furniture to move or stuff like that, even organizing, you know, how can you, sorry, I've got this digging into my boob. How can you organize stuff in a very practical, nurturing way so you will be able to find things, but also get it done? Logic, reason, treat it like a war strategy. Mars. Use your big dick energy, as they say, you know, put on your big girl panties because you'll need them if you're going to use big dick energy, and get it sorted, but in a nurturing way because it's Virgo. Then on the 21st, Venus goes into Virgo. So you get your passion, motherly, self-love, general love, things you love to do and have around you, nurturing with your big dick energy. Can we not go? Let's not go there. Venus in Virgo, obviously Venus is exalted in Virgo. She is the strong feminine warrior in the very practical, analytical, problem solving arena. So if you've been doing all of this, so you've cleared everything out, you've rearranged stuff, you've got your furniture reorganized, you've put stuff where you think it should go, think, Mars, fiery energy, get it done. This is your editing. So getting it done first, and then this is the editing. This is where you go back through and go, I've put that there. Is it actually going to work? This is the bit that I usually miss out because I don't have a lot of feminine energy in my chart. This is the bit that I always miss, is looking at things and going practically, okay, I love having my desk under the window. It's fantastic. But guess what? I can't open at least 6 drawers of this cupboard that's here because I like having my desk here. Right? That needs to be sorted. I've got to do something about that. Sorry, trailing wires. There we go. There's got to be a way of fixing that. So instead of just being all gung-ho and, yeah, this looks great here, let's put that there, I've got to check that everything works and that it's practical and it's going to nurture my creativity, nurture the things that's important to me. And alongside that, usefully, we've got Mars, Mercury in Leo, self-expression, trine, Jupiter direct in Sag. Now, Jupiter direct in Sag, Jupiter ruling Sag, big goals. So we've got self-expression and big goals trining each other. That's self-expression and big goals can go hand in hand. So one of the things that I need to do as part of this editing exercise is to sit down and say, okay, what are my big goals? What do I want to do? Now I want to spend time, you know, because as a creative person, anybody who's creative will tell you, you go through spurts. At the beginning of the year, I was always all about the fabrics and junk journals. I couldn't stop sewing. With the exception of working on Jen's cat thing, I haven't sewn anything other than my embroidery, which I'm really enjoying because I can do bits and pieces here and there. but I haven't done junk journals in a while. I haven't done fabrics in a while. Do I need to have all that stuff out on my desk over there, or could I put it somewhere all together where I can get to it easily, but I don't need to have it right in front of me right now? Because what I'm really into at the moment is my mixed media painting. So I want to kind of set things up in a modular way, like the bullet journal, where I can say, okay, this month I really need this module, and I really need this module, and this module would be handy. But I don't need this module at the moment, but I will need it later, so I'll put it over there. So instead of moving my entire studio every time I have a change, I want to be able to move the contents. Does that make sense? Like put all my paints in a cart or something. I'm going to end up with those damn Raskog carts. I just know it. Put all my paints on a movable cart so that that is what I use most, and I can use that anywhere. And maybe put my sewing out in the kitchen where I can use it if I want to, but it's not in the way in here. And then when I move from, oh, I don't feel like painting mixed media at the moment, I feel like just doing like watercolor and stuff, I can swap it over and put all my watercolor stuff on my cart and put my mixed media somewhere else where it's easy to get to, but I don't have to use it right now. They're handy when you know how to use them. Yeah, I like the Raskog carts. I think they would be useful, but I haven't. Oh, hell no, I'm not paying IKEA prices. They're 50 quid in IKEA. I can get them for £22 on Amazon. Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. Plus, my nearest IKEA is like 45 miles away, so it would double the cost just to have to go and get them or pay for their delivery, which is ridiculous. I can get it free on Amazon. I can get it Amazon primed to me for £22, or I can drive down to 45 miles away to the nearest IKEA and pay twice as much. Yeah, no contest. I'm also too lazy to drive down to Birmingham to go and get one. You need to figure out how to use yours better. Yeah. I mean, I've got a big trolley and I love my big trolley, but it's a bit too big. If I could cut it in half and have two small trolleys, it would be perfect because it's all open and it's, you know, but I could set it up with all my material stuff on it and have it like a separate desk that's movable. So when I want to sew, I can just bring it over here, plug in my sewing machine and off I go and just use it as a desk. So I think that could work. I keep getting sidetracked. I'm sorry. Foggy brain, lots of squirrels, starting to wake up from the fog. Energy is starting to pick up again. Everything seems like a good idea all at the same time. You know how it is. I have one that I always used for paint. Now it holds my kitchen herbs. That's a good idea, yeah. My kitchen herbs are all in my drawer over there, but I might change that around as well. That's one of the things I need to figure out. Where do I store my herbs? Because my herbs were always in the kitchen. But when I brought my bureau into here, I brought the whole thing. I didn't think about what I was going to do with my herbs. So I really need to sort out a way of putting my herbs in the kitchen in storage, but still being able to get to them. One of the big issues I have in my kitchen is that all the under cabinets get moldy. They get really musty smelling and nasty. So I can't really use them for anything that's not in sealed boxes. So I use that for storage of like my winter duvet and stuff is in there, and my winter coat and all that kind of stuff that's in vacuum packed sealable things that most people put under their bed. That's all in my under cabinets in the kitchen because I can't put anything else in there because it would smell by the time it came out. You have a Raskog for snacks. Now that's a good use of it. That is perfect. Now I need one. I want cans underneath. You can imagine what would happen. Maddie would eat everything on it. She would knock the entire cart over and just scarf the lot. Can you do magnetic containers on your fridge for herbs? Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work. I probably could, but Okay, 23rd Sun goes into Virgo. So the spotlight comes off of self-expression and it moves into a more practical, almost, well, self-care in a very independent kind of way, because Virgo also looks at finances and stuff like that. So planning, organizing, self-care in terms of checking your portfolio online and stuff like that. That comes in at the end of August, which is always really useful for me, because that last 10 days of August, I tend to come up with loads of ideas and plans and things that week that carry me forward for the next year. Because I don't know about the rest of you, but as far as I'm concerned, the year starts on September the 4th, or whatever the first Monday of September is. I still work to the academic year. So that last 10 days is always planning and stuff. And then you've got Venus conjunct Mars in Virgo. So you've got all of that moving stuff, getting it sorted stuff, and editing is this really working stuff coming together. So if you spent the 18th onwards getting stuff done, and then you spent the 21st onwards working out if that was going to work for you, then the 24th is when you make those changes. And you say, no, this desk is not going to work in this corner. I've got to swap it with something else. So essentially, those 2 days of, you know, self-expression and goal setting and editing, those 2 days of the 21st to the 23rd, you could actually take a break and do some practical stuff and do some painting or do some, you know, use your space in order to check if it works for you. So you've got a built-in break in your month-long thing that you're doing, which is cool. So that's phase 2 of the project complete. And then you've got phase 3. We've got Venus in Virgo trine that Uranus in Taurus. So a trine, a coming together, both things working for you at the same time. The Venus in Virgo, self-care, nurturing, sort it all out, get your portfolio straightened, check your accounts and get your accounts and stuff up to date and all that kind of thing. Sort out your computer disks, archive stuff, back stuff up, all that kind of thing that none of us ever do. Trine, Uranus in Taurus, retrograde in Taurus. So how can we use, or not even how can we use, the community, social, practical aspects are going to be of use in that Venus in Virgo. So having perhaps, and here's one way of looking at it, if I've managed to do my get it done, edit, and then try it out and re-edit, reconfigure, let's call it reconfigure, then perhaps the 26th is an ideal day to share that with the rest of the group. So I could use that. The 26th, I'm actually on holiday on the 25th, but there's no reason that I couldn't set up a post ready for the 26th to show you, here's what I'm doing, here's what I've achieved, here's what we've done, that culminates all of this. The 28th, Mars in Virgo is trine that Uranus. So that may not be anything to do with me. Maybe that is to do with you guys. Maybe that is my ability to share what I've done in the community spurs you on to share what you've done in the community. Maybe, hopefully. I'm just giving examples. I mean, this isn't necessarily what it is. I'm just giving examples so you can look at it later and go, well, how can I use this? Because obviously, if you've got Uranus in Taurus in your natal chart and Uranus in Taurus is retrograde at the moment, your natural aptitude for social media, community, practical, getting out there and doing stuff within your community is going to take a bit of a hit because it's retrograde. So maybe if you're a community volunteer, you need to take a month off, or you need to dial it back for the next 6 months, or you need to reevaluate what you've been doing and next year look at doing something different. You know, that's the same kind of thing that you need to look at. Then on the 29th, Mercury goes into Virgo. So all of this, hey, I'm a lion, look at me, la, all of that takes a back seat and we get back into something a bit more sedate, where our ability to communicate is on a much more measured, reading the fine print, going over the details kind of level, getting down to the nitty gritty, as you would put it. That's Mercury and Virgo. Virgo is the only person who reads all of this fine print in the Apple document. I once said flippantly, why does Apple make a 31-page detailed description of all of their legal stuff when nobody actually ever reads it? And my sister turned around and went, I read it. Hello, Virgo. Hi. And then the month rounds off, interestingly enough, with our second black moon. A second black moon, because it's this black moon skirts the 31st to the 1st for most people, even if it's only by a few minutes. So we've got a second black moon, this time in Virgo. So the dark moon in Virgo, resting, taking care of stuff, winding down, just all of this crazy Leo energy has been a bit, if you've been really embracing your crazy Leo energy and getting out and partying and self-expression and wow, being out in the world, yeah, that's going to be a nice break for those of us who don't normally do that. Did you hear of the company that hid a monetary prize in their terms and conditions and only one person ever claimed it? That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me at all. It was probably my sister. I bet it was a Virgo because nobody else would read it. On the same day as the black moon, we've also got the sun in Virgo. So a spotlight on all of this Virgo energy and editing that's been going on. Trine, that's still retrograde. I missed the retrograde there. Uranus retrograde in Taurus. So now you've got the spotlight on being able to do stuff yourself, independence, getting down to the nitty gritty, really understanding details. Trine, all of this, think about how you practically share stuff in your community, social media, all that kind of stuff. So that's really interesting way of rounding off a month where you've been doing all of that. At first I was like, I'm not embracing the Leo, but then I realized I am with all the lives and videos I'm doing. Oh yeah, your Leo is loving the spotlight. You are so doing the Leo thing, but you're doing it in a terribly Virgo Capricorn type of way with all of this practical planning type stuff you're doing. Very, very earth signy Leo fire energy. I'm doing the same thing with the ideas. I'm putting ideas out there in the universe. I'm sharing creative ideas and thoughts and practical planning stuff, but in a creative way. That's very me as part of my work. Because Saturn Leo, excuse me. I need to start embracing my Leo. I've had a lot of people saying it to me that I need to start sharing more. Sharing it more isn't necessarily Leo. That's more sharing of yourself. Being seen to be sharing is Leo. Actually sharing is more of a Gemini, Aquarius type, and then maybe a little bit of Capricorn thrown in there. It's your duty to share what you do. that kind of stuff. It'd be interesting to look at it in terms of your chart, Steph, if you want to know how to do that, because you're a water sign, so you have to prepare yourself for it. You're very water. You have to prepare yourself for doing stuff like that, because opening yourself up to, or your creative stuff up to other people, you know, you are your work. Anybody criticizes your work, they criticize you directly. So for you, you have to steel yourself for that and be prepared for the backlash, if there is any. So you've got to get on board with the feelings first. Risha's the same. Yeah, she has to open herself up to the possibility that if somebody criticizes her work, it could make her feel like she's not worth anything. So distancing yourself from that and saying, no, my story is not me. My story is my creation. People can criticize my story. Not everybody's going to love my story, but I still created it and I'm happy with it and I'm proud of it. You've got to be able to take that extra step back. It's very difficult for you water people. I really do want to do my chart and stuff. I think it's really interesting, but I don't have a great handle on it. Yeah. Well, I do readings, Amber, if you're interested. But we are doing it. I mean, I know you've missed a lot of class this year, but we have been doing it as part of the class. So, you know, there's links in the class to get your chart done for yourself. It tells you what your different signs are. I use the A-Lab thing. So it tells you what your stuff is and what it means if you print out the whole thing. But it doesn't tell you the intricacies of this relates to this and this is how this works together, or this is how this affects this. It only tells you, right, you've got Venus in Virgo on your ascendant and that means. It doesn't tell you how that relates to the fact that you've also got another planet over here that's squaring it. So it doesn't tell you the next level. It only tells you what it means. It doesn't interpret it. Because I think you could print out the A-Lab basics and understand it yourself. It's the intricacies and how it relates to everything that you get from the reading that is. I don't think there's many. I mean, I think Deb could probably do her own because she's quite well versed in astrology. But I think most of you would struggle because you can work out what it means, but putting the two together is another step that's a little bit more tricky. That's why I do these, so that you can see how I put these together. Because this, you know, anybody who's born on the 7th is going to have that Sun in Leo, trine, Jupiter retrograde in Sag stationed. So their whole lives are going to have this is me, and here's what I plan to do, and I'm going to go and do it. And it's going to be a success. Everything will be all right. It'll be fine because I'm doing it. And that's going to work for them for their whole life. Lucky little sods. They are just going to be the luckiest. They are going to, you know, when people say they could fall in manure and they'd still come up smelling of roses. Yeah, anybody born on August 7th this year and has that in there, that's them. They could just make anything work. Somehow they'll just make anything work. They have that fake it till you make it confidence from both sides of the track that says, well, okay, I'll fake it till I make it. But at the same time, Jupiter retrograde knows that sooner or later that's going to come unstuck if you want to attain your goals. So he'll go off and learn about it because that's what Jupiter likes to do. Jupiter likes to know everything. They like to be a know-all. So Sun in Leo will pretend they're a know-all or appear to be a know-all. And Jupiter will go off and do the hard work. And somehow everything will come out in the wash and it will just work. It's like toast always landing butter side down. It's the opposite of that. It's if you strapped toast to a cat and dropped it, it would always land on its feet, right? So it would never land butter side down. You must have a lot of Jupiter. You probably do, yeah. We're lucky. Lucky. I have because I've got Jupiter in Sag, on my ascendant, I just have this attitude of it'll be fine. Even if it doesn't work, it'll be fine. I'll learn something from it. It'll be great. No worries. What's the worst that can happen, right? That's my entire attitude to everything. And with my self-expression all tied up around my Aquarius sun and my feelings all tied up around my Aquarius sun, it's a constant barrage of, oh, here's an idea. Yeah, that'd be cool. Here's an idea. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do it. It'll be fine. So, and it works. Funnily enough, it works because it's a trine. So that's the astrology for the months. Any questions specifically on anything? Anybody got a very high Virgo or Leo aspect? Have we got any Leos or Virgos in? Don't think we have we? Obviously, Leo energy affects Aquarians as well. So all my Aquarians, it will affect us the opposite way. It will make us feel tired and lazy. Everybody else is like, oh, Leo energy, let's party. And we're like, oh, thank God everybody else is going out. We can have a quiet evening in. Oh, you have Virgo on your ascendant, right? So you will be very much seen to be doing all of this. Risha's going to be seen to be the editing, organising, spotlighty, oh, look, she's all busy doing stuff kind of person. Whereas that might be something that you normally do a little bit under the radar. You'll be doing it and doing it for a purpose and being seen to be doing it. So you may be one of those people who needs to reevaluate how that creativity and self-care and nurturing comes out in your social media presence or in how you share stuff online or in the group or whatever. How can you use your online community to fuel that fire and keep it going? How can you use that sense of community to help you to open up and share a little more, which is what you want to do, but you're scared of doing it? So that, you know, Virgo is good at getting to the details of what you can do and how you can do it. Now's the time to formulate a plan for that. All good Virgo stuff starts with a plan. Your Leo is opposite all of your planets. Ah, so you've got Leo and all of your planets in Aquarius. Yeah. You're with me. My Leo is my work, and it's Saturn, and it's always hard work. And taking a load off is what I need to do. So I couldn't have planned my holiday for a better time, really. Although I could have. Usually I go for July. This year I'm going for August. I'm hoping the weather will be a bit better. But yeah, you may find that you fight against it because your natural state is to have ideas, to be in your head, to be thinking about how nice it would be to organize everything. Your Leo is going to actually make you do it. That means you're going to have to know what you want. Ooh, ouch. For somebody with so many planets in Aquarius, knowing what you want isn't an option. So, yeah. Your Leo is your 10th house. Ah, your place in the world. What you should be doing. That's good because that ties in with your newfound love of the spotlight, doing Twitch and YouTube and Instagram videos here, there, and everywhere. So make the most of your time that you have to put everything else on a back burner and let that Leo shine. You'll make good headway. You'll get a following. You'll learn new stuff. And then when everything else takes over and that Leo isn't there anymore and you're like, oh, but I don't know if I can, you'll know that you can because you've already done it. So that Leo will hold you forward, keep you going, make the most of it. You've got Mercury and Venus in Leo. Oh, honey, get writing. Do your writing, share it, get it done. Communication. things you love. Woman warrior, rawr. Mars in Leo, nothing in Virgo. Yep, Mars in Leo. Marika has big dick energy and she's not afraid to show it. Just remember that it's fine to have big dick energy, but getting it out and swinging it around is not, most people don't appreciate that. So, you know, in practical terms, you're one of the few people who can actually get stuff done. Please don't rub it in the faces of the rest of us. But also, it's a positive thing because you can chivvy on. You're a good cheerleader. You can chivvy on other people and keep the rest of us going. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Horribly positive and go-getty, Mars in Leo. Nothing in Virgo is a little bit, you need to look at that. What's your house? What house is your Virgo in? Because your Virgo, you have self-care missing. Yeah, bring your pom-poms because you're going to be standing on the sidelines going, I've already done this. You got it too. Yay. The head of the marching band, follow her. If you've got nothing in Virgo, then your self-care and self-awareness and ability to, you may want to be independent, but your ability to be independent is going to be impaired. I have the same problem. I have nothing in Virgo either. So look at what house your Virgo is in and say, okay, what can I do within that house that will be of use? For instance, mine is in house 9, which is the house of higher education. So the best way for me to self-care and ensure that I do it is to use it as a tool to teach others. Either as a, you know, what's that? Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jane. There's a, I can't remember where it came from. I think it's probably a meme. It's probably on a t-shirt somewhere or a mug. But there is one that says, it may be that your purpose in life is to serve as a warning to others. That's me. Okay. Here's what I'm doing. And you can all see how it's obviously not going to work and learn from it, right? And if by chance it works, yay. Jane, Jupiter, Uranus and Pluto are all retrograde. Oh, you just miss it. You just look at that. Jupiter goes direct on the 11th and Uranus goes retrograde on the 12th. So you've got, at the moment, you've got both Jupiter and Uranus stationed. Woo! That was close. If they'd been the other way round, that could have been a bit of a weekend for you. But that's not so bad. You miss one. But Pluto in Virgo, Pluto retrograde, Pluto in Virgo loves to change stuff. Aquarius Pluto likes to change stuff just for the sake of it because they can see a better way of doing stuff. Virgo in Pluto likes to do things a different way because it's going to be better. Nobody else will like it. It will probably take a long time to do it, and it will involve answering a lot of questions, but it will be better in the long run. So if you need to reorganize something, now's the time to start thinking about how to do it. Your Virgo is in house 3. So your Virgo is in not higher education, but self-education. You're in learning. So the best way for you to move forward and do your self-care is to learn new things or to take stock of what you're doing in order to review and learn new things. So as you're working on your new project, which you are going to do, you have to start it, light a fire under your own butt tomorrow and get going with it. Start writing or start preparing to write. the best way for you to self-care is to learn as you go. So not just do, review. Start a regular process of review and reflection. If you've been finding the reflection of bullet journaling useful, keep doing it. If you find morning pages have been useful previously to get your creative juices going, start doing it again. You know, anything like that that you learn about yourself from doing. That was a very bad way of putting that. Anything that teaches you more about how your own mind works, or especially how your own emotional well-being works. What is it about writing that makes you feel better? That's what you need to review and explore and keep learning more about. Nothing in Virgo or Leo. Yeah, you've got enough going on, Cody. You don't need any more. You're a Taurus. Yeah, there's not an awful lot going on in Taurus except this Uranus retrograde. So again, a reevaluation of your community spirit and how you react in the community, how you use your online community, social media. For you, the general community aspect of being a nurse in a hospital, that's a huge community all of its own. So that's stuff, you know, are you spending too much energy giving to work over and above what you normally do? Do you need to take a little bit of a break from that or dial it back for 6 months? Or can you change it in some way? Or perhaps it's less about what you are doing and what you could do. Do you need to reevaluate and see if next year you could step up what you're doing without detriment to yourself? It can go either way with a retrograde, because retrogrades are all about reviewing. It's not about doing, it's about reviewing. Nothing in Leo or Virgo apart from your ascendant. Jupiter's at 0 of Libra. Yeah, you're fine. You've got enough to do with that Virgo ascendant. Full retrogrades in your natal. Woof. That'll be interesting to see, especially with that Mars Leo thing. I'm scared of my mum right now. My mum has her sun in Leo at 28, and she's got Uranus, Pluto, and Mercury in Virgo. Oh yeah, she's volatile. Everything's about her. Everything, even stuff that's about you, is about her right now. So yeah, be the cat to her Leo. It would be my recommendation. Let her shine. Let her do her own thing till she runs out of steam. Once everything moves into Virgo, she'll calm down again. She'll go back to sleep. But don't argue with her. Just let her do what she does. Be prepared for your mum to want to party a lot too. You may have to sacrifice one of your days off to go out shopping with her. Because it's all about me, myself, and I, and you know, you can't be me, myself, and I if you don't have an audience. You might have to be the audience. You're learning all day. Oof, good. Everything in your 7th house. Ooh, interesting. Because your 7th house is about relationships and how you relate to others on a deep level and how they relate to you. It's not about who you are or how you appear or anything. It's about specifically about how you relate, which for a counsellor and a nurse is incredibly important. So take note of those retrogrades, because those are taking stock. Everything is taking stock or stationary. So time to have a pause. If you've been giving too much, you need to dial it back. If you haven't been giving enough, think about how you can put more out there. But be careful, because with all of those in Virgo likes to do and plan and never actually get to anything of some kind of a fruition. They never kind of finish a project. It just kind of hangs on or dwindles out. So, you know, perhaps it's time to cut ties with a few projects that have dwindled out and focus your energy on new ones. Exactly what I've been doing today, online courses all day. Oof, don't overload. I mean, it's hard for anybody with Virgo in Mercury and Virgo to overload, but don't overload. Self-care too. Virgo is self-care too. Virgo in house 11, that's sense of community. So community, online stuff, technology, all that kind of thing. Marika is probably with that Mars Leo, I can do anything and get things done. And Virgo in house 11, she's probably the only person who can get away with sorting out all her tech instead of doing the practical stuff that the rest of us have been putting off. Do you tend to put off doing your tech and backups and all that kind of stuff, whereas the rest of us kind of do eventually get round to it? When was the last time you did all your backups? Because it might be time to do it now. Virgo rules house 1, shares it with Libra, but the majority of my Virgo is 12th house. Yeah. 12th house starts in Leo. Ooh. Uncovering stuff. That'll be interesting when we get to the 11th and 12th house. That'll be very interesting. Because that's I have to find out how I feel about stuff before I actually put any of my energy into doing any of it. I have to be comfortable, and then I can step out of my comfort zone. But I have to figure out where I feel comfortable first. It's a very slow process. But I think we all see that, don't we? You get there eventually. And you kind of use your, not so much now, but you used to use your Libra sense of, oh, but I think I know what I want to do, but I'm not 100% sure. I haven't made a decision. Kind of as a cover for, well, really what I'm doing is getting okay with the feels of it, so I can feel like I'm comfortable, and then I can work out where I can step out of my comfort zone. You can't step out of your comfort zone if you don't know where your comfort zone is and you're not in it. And Rishi always has to do that entire cycle of, I have to be in my comfort zone. Where is my comfort zone? This is where it needs to be. Okay, now let's make a plan. We're going to exit the comfort zone over there. We're going to do it then. This is how we're going to do it. We know, okay. Are we ready? No, not quite yet. Okay. All right, go for it. Leo, boom, out you go. Once you decide to do it and you do it, boom, it's there. And you will share everything, but it takes you a while. You do your backups when you get a new phone every 2 years. Yeah, it might be a good time to do it now, Marika. You are the one person who needs to sort out your tech. Spend your time going through your Google photos and getting rid of crap. Oh, I can feel all the tension in my neck now from my earache and everything. You know when you have to move the skin on your head to make it not feel so tight on your skull? That's where I'm at the moment. When I get a new, I've spent all day trying to resurrect my old laptop. Ah, interesting. Well, it's a good time to be doing it. You might actually succeed in doing it. Right. Let's call it a day there, shall we? Oh, 7:30 exactly. I'm getting good at this 2-hour thing. Yeah, hopefully that explains some of the astrology. So on Saturday, we'll work on this. If you go back through either the Ning site or the Patreon site, looking for the Wheel of the Year stuff and the Stitch and Witch stuff, in the meantime, you can find out what we've been doing up until now. Obviously, you don't have to catch up, but, you know, sometimes people want to watch the videos to see how we got to where we are now. But you can jump in now and start if you want to. It's fine. Also, you don't have to do the Wheel of the Year. Obviously, that's specifically a witchy type thing. You could do seasons, or you could do major holidays. You could do Christian holidays, whatever it is you want to do. I mean, you could stick to the basics of New Year, Easter, Christmas and Halloween if you wanted to. Right. I think I'm going to take some headache tablets, and instead of sitting in front of a computer, I'm going to finish my audiobook because I started reading the My Favorite Murder book yesterday, finally. I've been waiting for my Audible credit. I finished the previous book a little bit too fast, so I've been waiting for my audio credit. So I finally started that one, and I think I'm going to finish this off ready for Saturday. It's going to be my evening because my head is pounding, so I need to do something, and then I think I'll go to bed early because I think we're all feeling the same now, aren't we? Aren't we all kind of take the evening off, guys? Except for Steph, she needs to light a fire under her butt. She's been taking far too much time off. Watch Buffy and Veg. Excellent idea. But even Steph, you know, if you've been doing online learning, you know, you can still keep doing online learning if you're watching videos or catching up on stuff, or as long as it's relaxing and enjoyable, you know, maybe cook yourself a nice meal and sit with a glass of wine. Because I know you like your vegan food, don't you? Cook yourself something nice as a treat and then sit down and do some more. Self-care, guys. We're moving into self-care time soon. More tea and a good book. Even better. Even better. Finish your planning and then read a bit. Excellent idea. That's spoken like a true Virgo. True Virgo ascendant, at least. For those of you who are new, go to either alabe.com. I actually put the link in yesterday's YouTube video, or go to the Ning site in the When Frogs Sing group. There is a link. There is a thing that says links, and you'll find all the links you need in there. Go and get your astrology chart from alabe.com and print it as a PDF or download it as a PDF and put it in the group. There is under the study guides and intros section, right at the beginning of the year. It's a January post, February post, somewhere around there. It's astrology, and it's got loads and loads of replies to it. It's the only post that's got hundreds of replies. Well, 50 odd replies. It's in double figures anyway, which is fairly unusual for this very quiet lot. Post your chart in there if you want to. You might have to screenshot it and post it as a picture. You don't have to share your chart, but if you want to, that's the place to do it, because I go through people's charts in that thing every time we do a house chat or an astrology bit. And we're going to be doing next week, we're going to be doing house 6 and 7. I don't know when we're going to fit 8 in. We'll have to fit 8 and 9 in next month, I think. You need to find a costume idea for Halloween. What was the website? alabe.com. Hang on, I'll get you the link. I've got the link here. Oh, Castlefest. Oh, medieval Dewberries. Fantasy Medieval Festival. Ah, awesome. That sounds fun. That bloody AnySearch thing has come back again. I hate that module. It just keeps coming back. You're going on Saturday and you don't have a costume yet. Okay. Oh, you have lots of costumes. You just have to pick one or mix and match. Right. Gotcha. Ah. Yeah. Pull everything out and start mixing and matching and trying things on. I'm sure you'll come up with something. Let me find the, oops. Let me find the link. Here we go. There we go. That's where you get your free birth chart from. If you want to know all the bits and pieces, that tells you, you've got Mercury rising, Mercury in Doodah rising, and this is this and this is that. Then print out the whole thing. If you would rather interpret it for yourself, only print page 1, which is the picture on its own. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I will stop live